that Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing you the second update for my Advent Project Pan book edition. Just a quick reminder, this project is created by Hèléne from Makeup, who I'll have linked down below. And the purpose of the Advent Calendar project is to keep the magic of an Advent calendar going throughout the year. In its original form, the goal was to use up 25 sample or deluxe size sample products, pulling them at random from an Advent calendar. If you've already been following along, you'll know that I'm doing that concept utilizing books. So my husband has selected 25 books to read in 2024, and I'm just going through them one by one. Though, hint, hint, I'm still on the first book. If you watched my Read With Me series last year, I'll have that linked in the cards, you'll know that I'm not a one reading project kind of girl. So I'm also doing the Color Me Reading Challenge. This was created by Samantha, who I have linked down below, and myself, where we select books on the 12 colors. Though this project has been changed and redone every year. I'm also still trying to participate in the hashtag Pan Your TBR bookshelf, created by Amy, who I also have linked down below, where the concept is that you read the books you own. Pretty basic, and yet I have only read one book that fits that project, and that was early last year. Hence why I decided to do the Advent Calendar Project Pan book edition. I've only managed to read one book since my last update, so we'll jump in and talk about that book, discuss what projects, what challenges it fits towards, and then we'll discuss where I'm currently sitting with my Advent Calendar books. So the book I did manage to read, you'll see a cover come up here, is Murder at the Vicarage by Agatha Christie. I did listen to it via audiobook, and the book is written from the perspective of the vicar, Leonard Clement. Colonel Prothero is murdered one faithful evening, and in a town full of busybodies, nobody hears or sees a thing. Or did they? Christie takes you on a journey of twists and turns, and not the best detectives. Before we discover the truth, thanks to the keen eye, insert nosiness, of the old Miss Marple. I really enjoyed the book, and I would recommend Agatha Christie to any fan of the detective or sleuth genre. I will say though, because I already had prior knowledge of Miss Marple, I was a fan of the television show, I was actually really surprised to discover that Christie's Miss Marple series, I'm going to assume that the other books in the series are set up in similar structures. But this book was not written on the perspective of Miss Marple. She's essentially this old, nosy, busybody secondary character who kind of just pops up throughout the book, dropping hints, figuring out the crime, and in the end comes in and mic drops her way into finding a killer. So I would specifically say that if you're a fan of the TV series, I know it's probably showing my age, but if you're a fan of the TV series and are yet to read any of Agatha Christie's books, I would say pick one up and give them a read. When I first decided to read A Murder at the Vicarage, I didn't realize it was the second book in the series. I was looking through my Libby app, which is through my library, and I thought it was the first book in the series. but Goodreads has informed me it is in fact the second. In saying that, it was a full, complete book. I don't really think from reading just this one that you would need to read them specifically in order or even read anything more than just one book. This book did go towards one of my challenges, which was my Color Me Reading challenge for the color Silk Grey, and that's because of the grey scaled photo of a vicarage that's at the top of the cover. So I'm pleased to say that means I have got 2 books read for my Color Me Reading series so far. And I'm hoping that this initial little burst with this project will mean I'll be able to get through all 12 books, all 12 colours in 2024. But moving on to my Advent calendar project. As you already know, the first book in that project is the Intimate Adventures of a London Call Girl, written by Belle Jour. I was really hoping to have this book finished by this update. And when you're seeing this, the likelihood is I have finished this book. But because I'm pre-filming, in fact, I'm pre-filming nearly 2 weeks before this video is aired, goes out on to the line, I still have about this much left to go. I thought about kind of giving you a review of it so far and just kind of finishing my discussion on this book now. But I thought because I have the end of the book to go, I guess the best bit of the book to go, I figured that I would wait until next update. So I'm still working on book 1 of my Advent calendar, which is a little worrying considering that at this point we're halfway through February and I do hope to get through all 25 books. Let's see how that goes. I think that I'll be able to read 25 books within the year, depending on how much I travel, because as you know, I listen to audiobooks while I'm driving. The problem, I guess, with the Advent calendar project Pan, as well as my hashtag Pan Your TBR bookshelf, the problem with those projects is that I need to physically read a physical book, which means I can't really multitask like I do when I'm listening to audiobooks. I know some people will borrow an audiobook to suit a book that they already own and get through those books that way. And there is no issues if that is how you choose to do it or how you like to read. But if I own the physical book, I would like to read it as a physical book. Read the actual copy that I have to get use out of that copy and decide whether I wish to keep that copy or not. I will say just a little tidbit on this specific book. I am really enjoying it. For those who watched my last episode, you know this is a reread for me, but I haven't read it in probably, well, at this point it would be more than 10 years. And a reread of it has given me so much more insight to the book, especially because my reading style, the things I like to read, my knowledge of life, I guess, has drastically changed since the first time I read this book. But I'll go into more details in the next update. So that's all I have for you today. Down in the description box, I also have a list of everyone else who is participating in one or more of these projects. If I don't have you listed below, please let me know down in the comments. And also let me know what books you've been reading and if you have any books that you would highly recommend to me. Until next time, I'm Verity. This was the 3rd update for my Advent calendar project Pan. And now to the outro.